Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I'm actually participating in a readathon, and it's the least likely readathon that I thought I would ever participate in, and that would be Contemporaryathon. I have been reading a lot of contemporary books, romance books, just things completely out of my genre recently. Normally I stick to sci-fi and fantasy, so today I wanted to sit down and give you guys my TBR on day one of the readathon. Today, as you guys are seeing this, the readathon has begun. I've actually already started one of the books for one of the prompts already as well, but today I wanted to sit down and just talk to you guys about the books that I chose, what prompts they fulfill, and why I chose them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So the first prompt we have here is read the most recent contemporary book you acquired. So that can be from the library, that can be a gift, that can be something that you purchased, whatever the reason may be. And for me, I picked Summer Bird Blue by Kimi Don Bowman. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for a very long time. If you guys saw my vlog that I put up on Friday, I have been pining for this book for so long, and I'm glad that I finally have it. I've read nothing but good reviews on it. I actually also really liked Starfish by the same author, and I just wanted to pick this up because one, I want to support her, and two, I really like her writing style. I feel like she has a really good way of painting things in your mind. So as you're reading it, you're able to actually visualize it and see it in your head. So I did want to get around to reading this. This is also a book that I've been wanting to read for a very long time, so I'm glad that I'm finally getting around to it. The next prompt we have is read a book with blurple on the cover, or blue or purple, and for me that is going to be To Be Honest by Maggie Ann Martin. This is a book that, once again, I did want to read a long time ago. I actually bought this on release. It was a pre-order that I had pre-ordered, obviously, and I just really wanted to read it. It is a book that I had once again heard really great things about, and the only thing that I really know about this book, because this is a book that I, because it was contemporary, didn't want to know a whole lot about, is that it does obviously have a lot of plus size representation in it, and that really did appeal to me because I know you guys probably can't really tell, but I am more on the plus size, and it is good to be able to see myself represented in books. A lot of my favorite characters are a little bit more on like the wafy side, like they're tall and thin or petite, and it's nice to just have a character that is more about me, just to see myself in a book. Now obviously I often see myself in books, but seeing myself in this way I feel like would be really nice. And I forgot to mention, all of these books, as usual, will be listed down below if you guys want a little bit more information on them. I do always leave every single Goodreads link down below for you guys if you want to kind of dive a little bit more into the books, if you want to add them to your TBR, if you want to read them along with me during the readathon. All of that is in the down bar. Now the next prompt that we have is to read a diverse read, and to keep in mind that it is Black History Month, and the one that I actually chose for this is the book that I already started. This is a book that I had pre-ordered because of everything that was going on. I actually had to cancel my pre-order, and I ordered this book with the gift card that my roommate got for me for my birthday, and it would be On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is obviously an own voices from Black people, people of color, and I'm really excited to read this. I thoroughly enjoyed Angie's other book. I will leave my review for that down below. And when it comes to books with representation in them, I tend to rate them more on enjoyment than trying to really break down the book. I feel like a lot of the story can be lost on you if you are not a person of color, if you are not, you know, LGBT, things like that. So I tend to rate these kinds of books based purely on enjoyment. So far I'm about 30 pages into it and really liking it. I like our main character, but this is essentially follows a young girl, and she is trying to follow in her father's footsteps. He is a famous rapper in the town that they live in, and she is from a kind of more poor, impoverished part of New York, and I really liked that because her mom is really funny, her aunt's really funny, and you can kind of see the dichotomy of everything. And I feel like already Angie is really focusing on some important topics. I think that our main character is really trying to focus on like the SATs and test taking and going to college, but she really wants to pursue rapping. And I love that. I love that Angie is kind of going about that, and I'm like really excited to see how it goes. But like I said, I'm going to be rating this on enjoyment, not necessarily rating it on 100% what I thought of the book as a whole. Like, did I enjoy reading it? You'll find out at the end of the month. Now the next prompt we have here is to read a contemporary that is dark, emotional, or hard-hitting, and for that I have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. So what this follows is our main character Adam has a foster brother that he hasn't seen in a very long time, and they are reunited, but there is a lot going on in Julian's home life. There are secrets that he's keeping from Adam, and Adam really wants to help him, but it is at a great cost. That's all I know about this book, but I know that it is a hard-hitting book. From what I've heard about it, it's a very emotional book to read, and I did want to add this to my TBR. It's also really great because there is ADHD representation in this, which I feel like is common enough in our world, but not necessarily represented enough in books, because I know a lot of people personally who have ADD and ADHD. So I think it's really nice to have this, as well as, like, once again, this is a book that I've had on my TBR for a very long time. I remember buying this book and being really, really excited about it and not getting around to reading it. So I really wanted to use this readathon as a really good excuse to finally getting around to reading this, even if I imagine it might break my heart a little bit. Now, the next prompt we have here is to read a book that you meant to read in 2018 but did not, and for that I'm also going to be using To Be Honest. Once again, this is a book that I've had for a really long time, and I was super excited when this came out, and I had it on my TBR and I had it pre-ordered, and I thought that once again this would be a really good reason to finally getting around to reading it. So this is the book that I've had on my TBR for the longest that I really want to read for the readathon. Now, the next prompt we have here, prompt number 6, is to read a contemporary in a non-traditional format. So that can be, whether it be audiobook, it can be comic, you know, just tons, like it could be like poetry, things like that. And for me, I actually picked Everything in audiobook format. I will put a picture here on the screen for you guys. This is a book that I have in the past decided I didn't want to read, but even though I kind of know the whole story, I do still want to listen to it. I still do want to experience it because the story sounds very interesting to me. Essentially, it follows our main character. She is allergic to basically everything. She's kind of confined to her house, and naturally a cute boy moves across the street and she starts kind of venturing out of her house, even though she's not supposed to, because it can be very detrimental to her health. And I think that the story sounds really cute, but I know like the twists and turns that the story has as well, and I really want to experience those. I do unfortunately know exactly how the book ends, but that is totally fine with me. I'm really excited to kind of pick apart the story as I read it and see if I'm able to kind of pick up on things before they really start happening. So I'm going to be reading Everything for the non-traditional format for the Contemporaryathon. And the last book that I have is to read a book with a picture on the spine. And for that is a book that I got from the library, and it'd be autobiography. This is by Christina Lauren. This is a writer duo that I have recently fallen in love with, and I'm really excited to read this one because this is a YA book. Essentially, it follows our main character. He has come out of the closet. He's very open with who he is, but unfortunately his family moves to Utah, where things are not as accepting as they were back in California. And he does go on this writing retreat, and he starts feeling things for the essentially golden boy of the Mormon writing retreat that they are on. And I have heard stunning reviews of this book, so I'm really excited to read it. It sounds like something I am going to love, honestly. I've heard that it's really fast-paced and cute, and I love books like that, so I'm really excited to read this for Contemporaryathon as well. Alright guys, so those are all the books that I'm going to be reading this round. Like I said, I'm already a little bit of the way into On the Come Up, but I'm really excited to read everything else. I just am loving fluffy, or, you know, just like different settings. I really like fantasy books, but sometimes I find myself a bit bogged down with them. And then with science fiction, sometimes I find it hard to relate to them. So I think reading contemporaries will be a really good change from everything that I've kind of got going on in my life. I think it'll be a nice way to read something a little bit fluffier and a little bit easier to digest. So that is my TBR for Contemporaryathon. Let me know down below if you're reading any of these. And once again, all the links to every single one of these books will be down below if you'd like to buddy read any of them with me. If you do, let me know. You can get a hold of me on Instagram. You can send me a message on Goodreads, Twitter, wherever it may be, and we can kind of plan out how we're going to do this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will follow along. I will leave the Contemporaryathon video down below or up in the eye for you guys at some point in this video. So if you want any more information, you can find it there. As well as on Twitter, I'm going to be doing a thread of all the books I'm reading and what I'm thinking of them if you guys want real-time updates. And obviously I will also be vlogging this week. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday. Bye!